Joined now by Sherron Wilkerson, a former Indiana player, and now a veteran, a decade of being a high school coach in the state of Indiana. Sherron, how are you, man?
Doing wonderful. How are you guys?
Great. Sherron is one of my favorite people. I love having on. He is a guy that if you want to look up perseverance and self-dedication and self-improvement, look up that and you will find Sherron Wilkerson, who every time I talk to him, I leave so impressed. Thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate you. Congratulations on getting the job at Jeffersonville High School as head coach, basketball coach there.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, my friend. It's been an absolute unbelievable welcoming. It's I think it's always any high school kid's dream, specifically in the state of Indiana, to be able to coach at your alma mater. So for me personally, this has been a dream come true.
Well, that's not just any alma mater. I mean, I went to Floyd Central, and they're Jeffersonville, part of in our conference. It was Jeffersonville's 2,000 student school. They are good at athletics. Ron led them to a state championship. This is one of the plum jobs in the state. As a matter of fact, it is a job that Mike Broughton held, who is currently held what is in charge of the All-Star game.
That is correct.
So it's just one of those big time jobs, but it's also, I love seeing this thing coming full circle. You start out at a small school, Madison Shaw, then Madison, then Logansport, and now you're home. How incredible is it to be back at where you went to high school as the head coach?
No, Jim, I'll be honest. It's surreal. Obviously, I know it's cliche-ish, but it is. So that, Jim, we won that state championship, my friend, and it's so many components that have to be just right. It's so many things that have to happen. Obviously, since coming back, that has been the big mantra. State championship, state. Yes, obviously, that is always our goal. But it's really difficult. It's a lot more difficult than I think than most realize. Right. I think the existence of our school is around 130, 135 years, and it's been done one time on both sides, the boys and the girls, which for me puts it in perspective of how difficult it really is to win a state championship. So obviously the excitement is here. Now we got a lot of work ahead of us, my friend.
Expectations for when you hear the name Sherron Wilkerson coming back to Jeff, that's going to put some expectations, I would think, on Jeffersonville.
So it definitely is the it's the standard, right? I mean, it's, as a fan, former player, you want excellence, you expect the best. So from that aspect, I wouldn't necessarily call it pressure as much as motivation, if you will. Definitely, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward. And we're in a position now where we're coming in and we're changing the culture. We're doing things a little bit differently than they typically have. And Jim, I'll be honest with you, the transition is hardest on the kids. So for me, it's my duty to come in and make sure that I earn everybody's trust and make sure that we start leading this program back in the right direction.
Jeffersonville down in the very southern part of the state, across from Louisville, down there with New Albany High School, Floyd Central, a very strong basketball area. As we know, you've had Pat Graham come out of Floyd Central to play for Indiana. You had Romeo Langford out of New Albany, of course, yourself out of Jeffersonville, and those schools are always battling. Floyd Central just went through a coaching change. I think they finally hire a coach?
I think they did. I think they finally just recently named a guy, and I don't know the guy. I believe he was an assistant at North Harrison High School, but I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure what his name is. But yeah, Floyd Central is a wonderful program. So they're always in the mix, Jim.
And then we got Lance Stemler, who is a former IU player, on the Providence staff, which is also right there in Clarksville together.
That is correct. Now, I'm really close with the Providence staff, Coach Miller and those guys. They are one of the best staffs in the state of Indiana, Jim. Wonderful, wonderful people. I mean, even better coaches. Just an absolute unbelievable group of guys. And obviously, I'd like to take this moment to give them a congratulations on their state championship. Well deserved.
Yeah, how about that? Providence winning a state title last year. Lance Stemler on that staff, former IU player. You need to get with those guys. I'm trying to get Lance to get a team together to play. And Jordan Hulls has a golf scramble here on the 23rd. And so and Lance was trying to put a team together. So I need to get you up there with those guys. That
Would
would be
absolutely
perfect.
love to, Jim. Would love to, my friend.
I'm gonna send that text to Lance when we get done. Say, hey, Sherron wants to play with you guys.
Yes, sir.
So what's it been like going down? And what was the first thing you had to do when you got the job? Well, first thing, when you found out you were getting the job, what emotions? You were up at Logansport. What was that like?
Hey, man, wonderful, wonderful community, wonderful people. Jim, I'll be honest, I never had any intentions on leaving Logansport. And then obviously, when I got the call from Jeffersonville, I'll be honest, it was bittersweet, really, because on one part, I genuinely felt like it was my duty to come back to Jeffersonville. It's my home, right? And I think even from a state perspective, I think that people know the love that I have for Jeffersonville. It gave me the foundation to be able to do the things that I'm doing in my coaching career today. So it was very important in my life. So to be able to go back home and to lead that program again, I can't put it into words, but the reception has been a lot more warming than I ever anticipated. Obviously, I think we all know that we have some supporters, but in this day and age, you always have some people that's going to see things differently, if you will. But it's been an overwhelming positive welcome, and it's just. I'll be honest. When I very first got the job, obviously it was some tears. Man, it's overwhelming. I mean, it's a lot of emotion. Something that's been so important in your life. So to finally be able to be re-embraced, if you will, it's unbelievable.
Well, I don't know if I know anybody that has worked harder to make that come full circle. A question here, you'd have to be in Southern Indiana to understand this one, but he's asking if Sherron visited and I always pronounce it incorrectly. I always say Nanchon Fieldhouse.
Nahan. Yeah.
Nahan Fieldhouse. This place, go back and watch Hoosiers and find one of those gyms that was like a cage. That is this place. I remember playing league basketball there, but my funnest story there is the old coach at Floyd Central, Joe Hinton, got 5 technical fouls in a game there before they could get him out. 5 people. You only get 2 before you're kicked out. He managed to get 5. I loved him. He was off the court. He's the nicest guy in the world, but on the court, he was Bob Knight reincarnated.
That is correct. That is Bobby Knight Jr. Yeah, Bobby Knight Jr. in the flesh. Yes.
That's why Pat Graham had no problems when he came to. He had 0 issues. Like, I had Joe Hinton for a coach. Are you kidding me?
That's easy transition. Yeah.
Did you got to play against him?
I got to play. Coach Hinton was the coach at Floyd Central when I was at Jeffersonville. One of the greatest basketball minds that ever coached the game of basketball, and I genuinely mean that. Fierce competitor, obviously. Just a very fiery guy. Coach Hinton's one of those guys, Jim, that I truly believe he could coach in any decade and be successful. He understands the game to that level. So he is, he's definitely one of the forefathers that really set the stage for Southern Indiana basketball.
Well, not to turn this into that, but Floyd Central opened up in '67, and he got the job, and then within 4 years they were at the Final Four. So yeah, it was pretty fun. 5 Left says, "Hey, it's Sherron. What's up? It's Milton saying hey to you."
Hello, how are you, buddy?
And yeah, and I mentioned Floyd Central just lost a great coach with Todd Sturgeon leaving. New Albany has had Jim Shannon for a long time. I don't know how much longer that's going to be going because, he's been there like 20 plus years.
Sorry, Jim, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just going to say, not that I'm trying to get him out of there.
No, Coach Shannon is a legend, Jim. He's done some wonderful things at New Albany and for their program and the community. And beyond that, he's just a wonderful man. So, for me, it's a little bit difficult for me because, I look up to these guys and I look at Coach Shannon as a legend. So for me, I truly believe that, a legend can stay for as long as they want. I mean, he's done so many good things for the students and the student athletes there and the community. And again, he's a pillar. He's one of the guys that has helped me in my career, Jim. So it's easy for me to be a huge supporter of Coach Jim Shannon.
He's a great guy and very successful, as a matter of fact, as well. Indiana basketball. I know you've been very busy with all the things that you're working on. We just finished up the All-Star game. CJ Gunn, MVP of that, going to IU. And they have a great recruiting class, top 5 recruiting class coming in. Trace Jackson Davis coming back. They're in pretty good position next year.
They're in a really, really good spot. Obviously I've had a lot going on, Jim, but the next thing on my agenda is to reach out to Coach Woodson and hopefully get an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with him. He's done a marvelous job of getting Indiana basketball back to what the Indiana fans and the faithfuls are used to seeing. I mean, it's been amazing to watch it.
Yeah, I know that they've been very open and wanting players to come back. Is that someone that you could also hopefully reach out to for a coaching mentorship?
I definitely hope to. I mean, obviously, I think we all as coaches have a bucket list, right? And that bucket list is very difficult to accomplish, especially in the game of the coaching profession. It's really competitive. But obviously, my number one dream is to be a Division I head basketball coach. My number two dream is to be the head coach of Jeffersonville High School. So slowly but surely, I've been blessed in the fact that I've been able to accomplish some things that I've set out to do from a personal standpoint. So from that aspect, I don't think that you can ever have too many mentors in learning and understanding what it means to be successful. I think that's the number one reason to being successful is listening to different perspectives and understanding what works and understanding what don't work. And let me say this, Jim, that for me personally, everything that I've been able to do from a success standpoint has been taught to me from wonderful coaches and mentors. So in that regard, I think that you're always learning and always looking for guys. I mean, especially like a guy with Coach Woodson, who's been at every level of coaching that you could potentially be at. So I think that he has a plethora of knowledge that could help any young coach or any veteran coach for that matter, that could help at any level.
Do you still have your notebooks from when you played at Indiana?
I do.
I always ask that question. Every player had notebooks. It was like a class, man. It was a class. Do you ever refer to them? Is there anything you ever look back on in that?
So there are a few things that I look back on specifically from the discipline piece. That was one of the things that Coach Knight was so good at is the discipline and the regimented process that you have to go through in building a program. And that's at any level, Jim, even at the professional level. I mean, man, there's a regimented recipe that you have to follow. And it's a step-by-step process. And if at any point you miss any of the steps, it's difficult to recover, if you will. So from that aspect of it, quite frequently I lean on that because again, he was one of the best at doing that. And for me personally, I take a piece from every coach that I've been under, whether I played for him or worked for him, kind of put it all into one, if you will. And that's kind of how I approach the game.
Well, you've done an absolute incredible job, brother, and I am so happy for you. I'm happy for you to be, because I know what it means to you to be at Jeff High School. It's just that I can imagine that being a dream come true. So congratulations, and I wish you great success, except for one game a year, brother.
Hey, Jim, I get it, my friend. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I don't know why that will never leave me. I don't know why, but it's like New Albany. It's more New Albany. I'm like, hell no. I'll beat them in anything. I don't care. Beat them. That's the competitor in you, baby. You got to keep it.
That is it right there, my friend.
Well, Sean, I can't wait to see you. Hopefully we can get you up here for that golf outing. That would be awesome. But and if you're coming up to Bloomington to see Coach, please let me know. Look forward to it.
I definitely will, Jim.
But thank you so much for taking time, and good luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you again before the season. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, my
congratulations,
friend.
brother.
I always enjoy my time with you. It's an absolute pleasure, my friend.
You are an absolute joy to have, Sherron, and I thank you so much, man. Go out and have a great day. Stay cool.
Yes, Jim, thank you so much, my friend. Talk to you soon.